When I first heard Trump say that the media was the enemy of the people, I thought maybe it was just really hyperbolic. I mean, sure, when I was deployed, the media reports that my mom would send me about what we were doing and where we weren't necessarily accurate based on the daily briefings that I would get, but that just means that they got the story wrong, and they'll probably send out a retraction later, even though many times they didn't. And subsequently, because of the hyperbolic language, that was one of the reasons why I didn't vote for President Trump in 2016. But as time has gone on, the media has only proven Donald Trump correct. Hey guys, my name is Jason Wesley, and this is not a podcast. The latest example comes courtesy of the reporting about Trump saying that there's going to be a bloodbath if he's not reelected.
Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
But first, I'm going to show you a video of what Trump actually said.
Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. No, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
Here's what the media is saying.
White House on the campaign trail, Donald Trump warning of a, quote, bloodbath if he loses the election. Tonight, his campaign and what Trump meant by that. The Biden campaign pointing to January 6th. The country and the world seeing what can happen amid dangerous rhetoric.
He's even predicting a bloodbath. What does that mean? He's going to exact a bloodbath? There's something wrong here. How respectful I am of the American people and their goodness. But how much more do they have to see from him to understand that this isn't what our country is about?
Two eye-catching comments Trump made last night. In one, Trump said migrants are not people. And in the other, he painted a dark future for the country if he does not win.
Of who Donald Trump really is. At a rally in Ohio, the former president said some migrants are not people. He casts doubt on the future of American democracy if he loses in November.
New York Times. Trump says some migrants are not people and predicts a bloodbath if he loses. NBC News. Trump says that there will be a bloodbath if he loses the election. The Hill. Trump says some undocumented immigrants are not people, warns U.S. will see bloodbath if not reelected. Okay, so let me first show you a video of what he said about migrants not being people.
When these guys hear the stories about crime, to me, that's one of the worst of all. And this is all over the world. They're sending from all over the world, not just South America, Latin America. They're sending them from Asia. They're sending them from Africa, the Congo. Last night, 22 people arrived from the Congo. Now, the Congo is a very nice place, I would imagine. But they arrived from the Congo, and they came from prison. Where are you from in the Congo? What's your address? Prison. Now, these are rough people. They're coming from Africa. They're coming from Asia. They're coming from the Middle East. They're coming from Yemen, all over the place from Yemen. I thought we were bombing Yemen. Here we go with the bombing again. I would do the same thing. If I had prisons that were teeming with MS-13 and all sorts of people that they've got to take care of for the next 50 years, right? Young people, they're in jail for years, if you call them people. I don't know if you call them people. In some cases, they're not people, in my opinion, but I'm not allowed to say that because the radical left says that's a terrible thing to say. They say you have to vote against him because did you hear what he said about humanity? I've seen the humanity, and these are bad. These are animals, okay? And we have to stop it. We can't have another Lakeland. We have so many people. We have so many people being hurt so badly and being killed. They're sending their prisoners to see us. They're sending, and they're bringing them right to the border, and they're dropping them off, and we're allowing them to come in. And these are tougher than anybody we've got in the country. These are hardened criminals.
Clearly, he's talking about criminals and prisoners that are coming through our southern border. You'd have to be an idiot not to see, hear, and understand that, or you would have to be malicious in intent.
Border Patrol officials say that between October of last year and September 30th of this year, 151 migrants with positive terrorism watch list matches were arrested after crossing into the U.S. illegally along the southern border.
Border Patrol here reported some concerning information last night. Just in a 14-hour span, just in this sector alone, they arrested 4 MS-13 gang members. Again, just in a 14-hour span.
This morning, tensions escalating on the Texas border. Dramatic new video shows a struggle between Border Patrol and migrants in El Paso. The video shows dozens of migrants pulling aside a razor wire fence, then pushing their way past a handful of Border Patrol agents. The migrants were eventually stopped a short time later by a steel fence, where border agents and Texas DPS contained the situation and processed the 400 to 600 migrants.
And I don't think the media is full of a bunch of idiots outside of Joe Scarborough, Joy Reid, and Rachel Maddow. Now, if you remember, the media said the same thing back in 2016 when Trump was clearly talking about MS-13 gang members.
This comment came in a very specific context. President Trump is never one to mince words. Yesterday, during a roundtable discussion on immigration, the president made this comment about some deported immigrants who are MS-13 gang members.
You wouldn't believe how bad these people are. These aren't people. These are animals. And we're taking them out of the country at a level and at a rate that's never happened before.
Some politicians and bloggers jumped on the term to suggest the president was describing undocumented immigrants in general. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer responding on Twitter, when all of our great-great-grandparents came to America, they weren't animals, and these people aren't either. Using a dehumanizing term like animal to describe any human being may be controversial, and a lot of people would say it's never acceptable. But 12 News can verify the president was referring to MS-13 gang members who have been deported, many who have been accused of violent crimes and murder.
Now back to the bloodbath comment. Here's the media and Democrats using the exact same term, bloodbath.
But as Politico.com reports tonight on the, quote, bloodbath at the RNC,
headlines calling it a, quote, bloodbath. Be a bloodbath. Not only is it going to be a bloodbath, but after they leave New Hampshire, it's a bloodbath on her home turf. That's really tough. Trump has left a lot of corpses in his wake. I mean, we can count the bodies as part of the, quote, MAGA drive to take over Maricopa County. And the headline refers to it as an impending bloodbath.
columnist Charles Blow has a new piece for the New York Times entitled A Biden Bloodbath.
2018 midterms, you can bet that they 100% are fearing a slaughter. In fact, the word bloodbath and massacre come up frequently.
The Republican Party will be destroyed. It's going to be a bloodbath.
There's going to be a bloodbath one way or the other.
Bloodbath for Bernie Sanders.
It's been a bloodbath. They're shaping up to be a bloodbath.
Head off a bloodbath in next year's crucial midterm.
Off-year elections are often a bloodbath.
This week's bloodbath for Democrats, a bloodbath at the ballot box.
There could be a Republican bloodbath.
They'll talk about a bloodbath.
It's a bloodbath. I have to talk about you. And
It's going to be a bloodbath all day long.
Is in for a bloodbath.
Hasn't been a bloodbath on the way down. Donald Trump, bloodbath. Be a bloodbath.
Predicted to be a bloodbath. May not be the bloodbath.
It would be a bloodbath.
More of a bloodbath.
It's going to be a bloodbath in November.
Possible Biden bloodbath this November.
A bloodbath on Wall Street.
There's going to be a bloodbath
in Alabama into a bloodbath.
Obviously, there was a bloodbath. It was a bloodbath. We're down 800 points.
This bloodbath at Department of Homeland Security.
And it's a bloodbath today.
There was going to be this bloodbath.
Election bloodbath.
It could be a bloodbath for them.
Bloodbath, possibly.
Bloodbath that went through with the Attorney General.
Bloodbath 99 days out.
The bloodbath is going to look like
Presided over a bloodbath in the diplomatic corps.
Absolute, in my opinion, bloodbath. The Democrats are
Calling it ticket sales turned into a bloodbath.
Trump responded on Truth Social saying, "The fake news media and their Democrat partners in the destruction of our nation pretended to be shocked at my use of the word bloodbath, even though they fully understood that I was simply referring to imports allowed by crooked Joe Biden, which are killing the automobile industry. The United Auto Workers, but not their leadership, fully understand what I mean. With the electric car mandate being pushed by Biden, there soon won't be any cars made in the USA, unless I'm elected president, in which case auto manufacturing will thrive like never before, MAGA 2024. That was my terrible Donald Trump impression. Sean Ferris does a much better Donald Trump impression.
It's your favorite president, or as everybody calls me, the modern-day Paul Revere, because the bad hombres are coming. The bad hombres are coming. Everybody's getting a bad hombre. They're coming to a town near you. It's like Oprah. You get a bad hombre. You get a bad hombre. You get a bad hombre. Everybody's getting a bad hombre these days. And the Biden administration is doing absolutely nothing about it.
Now, many are calling it hypocrisy on the media's part, but it's not. It's hierarchy. They, along with other politicians, believe that they're better than you. They want to control the flow of information of what you see and what you hear.
In this context, I think he was talking about an economic bloodbath. And he just said it so flippantly and as an aside. Normally, when he wants to threaten you, it's not that unclear. It's pretty clear. He'll say it in context. He'll say it specifically, etc.
Will you be mine?